Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. Today is Thursday and I am not really sure what is going on this week. I filmed some stuff on Monday that I think was nice. Tuesday it rained all day and I was downstairs catching up in my notebook a bit. I spent the whole weekend playing a new video game, so I was a bit behind, but I am now back on top of it. Wednesday I saw a friend in London and it was really nice, but because I hadn't seen her for 3 or 4 months, I didn't film anything. We didn't really do anything. We were just sat in a coffee shop catching up for a really long time, and it was really, really nice. We had a huge talk and it was really good. Today is Thursday and I only have 1 day of footage for an Attic Archives episode. So I think what I'm gonna do is show you what it's looking like in here. There's not too much to update on, but it is cute and I'm really happy with it. And then I might try and dig my little Christmas tree out of storage. It is maybe a bit early, but it's the 16th of November today, so it is the midway point in November. And I love a good Christmas tree. I like that it lights up, I like that it glows, and that you can decorate it in shiny things. I really enjoy seasonal things, I guess, and I think that's part of why I prefer the winter to the summer, not only because the heat sucks, but because I like that in the winter you have like seasons to navigate by. I like it. So I might do that because it will give me something to do this afternoon that will feel, I guess, productive and sort of fulfilling. Obviously the point of my Attic Archives episodes is not to like go out of my way to like create content, as in like to create something artificial that I wouldn't be doing otherwise, but to help me set better intentions for my days and stuff. Like that was kind of what I came to when I first started back on the channel, was that it helped me organize my time and pick things more carefully, I guess, to move through my days with more intention maybe. So I think I'm gonna put my tree up. I think I would like to see it. So I might do that. The problem at the moment is that because I got the giant new tabletop, the dark brown one that I love, I really love it. Definitely in my top 10 purchases for the year, just FYI. But my attic room has these like built-in wardrobes that are really shit, to be honest. Obviously we rent, I didn't choose them, they're just here. But the tabletop sits directly against one of them, so I can't actually open it. And that's the one that has all of my winter clothes and also my Christmas tree in. So that is part of the problem, is that not only do I want to put the tree up, but also a lot of my like jumpers are in there and I kind of need to get them out. So it is a task I've been procrastinating because I'll probably have to take everything off my desk. It's not going to be fun. But I think I would like to do that to get it done before December starts, I guess. It's nice to feel organised before the holidays. I also need to file my self-tax assessment. That is something that I need to organise before the holidays, I just remembered. Apart from that, I got these really cute hand warmers. Do you call them hand warmers? Like mittens? Fingerless gloves, the tag says, from Damson Madder. I've been trying to get some of these for dog walking and just for when I'm out. I find that my hands get really cold and they get like pink and sore. It's always my hands and my feet. They're always so cold when I'm out, and when they are cold I find it hard for the rest of me to feel warm. I think that's just science, but I wasn't sure which ones to get. I've had some in the past from different places that have been like too chunky almost, and then it's really annoying to try and put them like under a coat. I saw these ones online. And Damson Madder is a brand that I quite like. And when I saw that they were dark grey and they had the little flower and also the text, I like it. I think it's really pretty. So I picked them up and they arrived yesterday while I was out. And I just think they're so nice because they are compact. And you don't have the individual fingers, which kind of stress me out. I don't like it when like the cotton or the wool is like touching the wool inside. It's like when you have toe separators, like it stresses me out. So I think these are really, really cute. I think they're so cute. You can expect to see a lot of them in future videos in the winter. I just think, like I saw them and I was like, oh, that is exactly what I want. That is exactly what I have been thinking I need. I just hadn't found them yet. And I don't know, I'm excited. I don't know if favourites videos are really a thing anymore online, but sometimes it's nice to talk about the bits that I get or that I am really enjoying. And I just feel really good about these and my tabletop. So there we go, super cute, would recommend. In my in my books, plural, my little books, I've been referring to it as like the gloomy archive. That's how I think of it to myself. It's like my gloomy archive, the two halves of the whole. And it's kind of a nice way to think about it, I guess. There's not too much going on. There's dog hair in it. I am up to date. This is the Friday when I uploaded the video, so I stuck in the photo I took for the thumbnail. Whenever I take the thumbnail photo, it's like a long rectangular one. I always take a normal photo as well. And I think it's nice to have it there because it kind of marks when I started taking these books really seriously, I guess. It's like that kind of thing when I'm moving through life. It's just like marking things that feel important to me, and I feel like that helps me to feel really like solid. That kind of stuff helps me to feel grounded, I guess. I don't know. And then just some text, and then I stuck in a picture of a Vivienne Westwood backpack because I think it's cute and it's nice to break the pages up a bit. I've been meaning to get a better backpack, not a Vivienne Westwood one, but a better backpack generally for carrying groceries and stuff, because carrying a lot of groceries in a tote bag is starting to destroy my bag. So I have been thinking about backpacks, I guess. I'm trying not to stick loads of stuff in because it sucks to have to like look for a lot to stick in. Sometimes I just don't enjoy that, but I do like to break up the text every couple of days. This is yesterday and this is today, so we are a couple of days behind again, but it's not bad because the books being a lot smaller makes it a lot easier to fill. When I spent Tuesday downstairs with Wednesday in the rain filling these up, it didn't take long to catch back up, obviously, and it's just nice to be able to chip away at that. So, and then in my commonplace book, there's really not a lot. I think you saw These Days. This is the book I was reading. And then I did another 2 pages for the same book. It's just the quotes I'd highlighted. And then I have some brain drain. I have this little text from Tumblr that's about falling in a hole and getting back out of the hole continually. I can't remember who wrote it. I need to maybe put the source on the back because I stuck it in like a flap. But I really like it, so I need to write down who wrote it. I have my weekly pages to this week. I haven't checked on this in a couple of days. I need to go back and fill in my habits that I've been doing, update my list, but it's working. It's fine. It's there. It's not interesting, but it exists. And then I just have a little bit of text. So there's not too much going on. I watched a documentary on Netflix about the Luna Park fire in Sydney, the ghost train fire. And I think I might make a commonplace page about that, or just a little bit, because it was really interesting and I really enjoyed it. It was a really good documentary. It was also absolutely devastating and kind of nauseating, but it was really good. If you have an interest in that kind of stuff, it's a really good documentary, and you really go through like the entire investigative process with them and like all the people involved and stuff, and I don't know, it was really good. So it kind of stuck with me. I also really like the old Luna Park in Coney Island, so maybe I'll make a page about that. Like maybe I can sort of link them up and sort of just have some pictures and some notes maybe. Not sure. But that's kind of my feeling. So I think this afternoon I'm gonna try and get the tree out. I might film that. I mean, I probably will film that. Not the whole chaos of removing my desk because it's just annoying, but I'll film the tree. I think what I'm gonna do this year, because there's no room on my desk for it really, is I'm gonna put it on top of the record player, which is on the chest of drawers next to my desk, because I'm not using the record player at the moment. My dad took the cable for it. He had given me the original cable because he had one, and then he wanted it back, so he took it back, which is fine, you know, that's his prerogative, but it means the record player doesn't currently work. I could obviously just buy a new cable, but I'm really using the CD player more at the moment now anyway, so I've kind of stopped buying records for the time being because they take too much room to store them. Like, for the space you need for 10 records, I can have 100 CDs, so it just kind of makes more sense to me that way at the moment. Eventually, when I have more space one day, I'll start buying records again and using the record player too. But for now, it's out of action. So I think I might put the Christmas tree on top of it. It has a lid, so it's not going to be damaged. It will be safe, and the tree doesn't weigh a lot. So I think maybe that's a plan. It kind of works as a table, and then I can put presents under it too. So I think that'll work well. That is kind of the plan. Tomorrow is Friday. I don't know what I'm doing then. I guess maybe tree today and commonplacing tomorrow. And then Saturday I have a flu vaccine at the doctor's, so that's not fun. But also it won't be filmed. So there we go. It's Thursday. Things are not bad because I have had a good week. It's just been kind of quiet, I guess. It's not been stuff that I can really film, but it hasn't been bad. That is kind of what's going on. Oh, I wanted to talk about the book I want to start reading. So this was in the background. It was like hanging around on the desk last week. I'm still reading In the Dark Room by Brian Dillon. I'm still only halfway through. People keep asking me to talk about the books I've been reading, like books plural. I have not been reading books plural. I've only been reading that one book. I mentioned this last week, but I'm trying to really take my time with it, and I have been. It's been like 2 months, so it's a really slow read for me, but it's by choice. I want to read it slowly. But I was thinking I might start reading this one too. It's kind of a similar theme. It's called An Inventory of Losses by Judith Shalansky, or Skalansky. And I picked this up in Waterstones. I saw it and I was like, that's pretty. And I thought I might give it a go. When I skimmed through it, it did not seem too dissimilar from In the Dark Room, so I think they might be nice companion reads. I don't know if anyone else ever does that, where you read 2 similar books at the same time, kind of alternating them because they kind of complement each other. But I thought, to help give myself a little break from the Brian Dillon book, because it is quite heavy for me on a personal level, I thought I could introduce a second heavy book, I guess. I don't know, it sounds really lovely and she has a really nice way of writing, so I thought I would just pick it up and give it a go. I might start that this afternoon, maybe this evening, so maybe we can do that after the tree. I can read this for a bit and see how I feel. But there we go, those are the intentions for the week. Just wanted to come on and say hi and set those, I guess. It helps me to sit and talk about it and work out what I want to do. In addition to that, or like sort of on the topic of that, can you let me know if you like the talking segments? I know that the last two videos, the hour-long ones, obviously I did a lot of talking. I do get kind of sick of hearing my own voice, but if you enjoy it, I don't mind. It's nice to talk to you guys, but please let me know if it becomes too much. I used to only talk for a really short bit, and then over time it's really lengthened, so let me know if you like these bits, or if you would rather less, because I could really do with the feedback. But otherwise, I'm gonna dig out the tree. So I think the tree went pretty well. It looks cute. I'm glad I did it. It does make me feel more seasonal, I guess. I guess it's nice to be preparing for winter like slightly in advance, like a week and a half in advance. And to slow down a bit, I guess, like this is episode 50 of the Attic Archives, and I was kind of thinking like, oh god, it's a really boring week for episode 50. It's a shame it wasn't something more like special, I guess. But then it's kind of nice because this episode, I feel like, is very reminiscent of like the early days of the Attic Archives. Things are a lot slower, there's not as much going on, it's just some really small bits from my week. And I think in its own way that's kind of nice, or at least that's what I'm telling myself. So I hope you've liked it. I'm gonna do some commonplacing now this afternoon. I was thinking I wanted to get a Christmassy mug. Obviously I've been using that bat mug really like dedicatedly for the whole of October. And now I've put it away so that it can feel that special again next year. This is an IKEA mug. It's not really big enough for the kind of drinks I like to drink, like for having a big cup of tea or coffee. I drink it very fast and it gets cold very fast, and it's just not super ideal. It's good for like a little coffee, like when you have like an espresso, like a little coffee, but not like a cup of tea. It's not really ideal for me. I was thinking about buying one, but then I remembered that I have this one, and I bought this when I was in uni, like, I don't know how long ago now, like 7 years ago. It was like my first year of uni. So it would have been 2015. That is so scary. It has a chip in it, so I don't know if my dad will actually let me use it. He might not be willing because when it gets washed it will get worse. He's kind of funny about that kind of stuff. I'll ask him and see what he says, but it is cute otherwise. I really like it, and it's a really good size. I think the size is probably similar to my Halloween one, so if he'll let me get away with it, I think maybe I can just use this one, which is nice because then I don't have to try and buy one or look for one. I can just use one that I have. I don't really have anything else that feels like festive mug-wise. We have like a lot of mugs, but they're not really that cute, I guess. They're not very, I don't know, I like seasonal things. I realised that I really liked having a dedicated Halloween mug and then seeing it in all the footage and the photos and stuff all the time. I really liked that. So I guess I just want to try and capture that again for Christmas. As I said yesterday, I think, I really like seasons. Like, I like being seasonal. And that's something I want to, I guess, refine or develop more as time goes on. Like, I want to put more emphasis on like seasonal living and, I don't know, just being conscious of time and stuff, again because of my memory stuff and my sleep and everything. So I guess I just realised that the mug meant a lot to me in October. So I don't know, stray thoughts. This is dirty as hell because it's just been in like my room in storage, and like I've been using it as decoration and stuff. But maybe an option. I'm gonna do some commonplacing. I printed out those photos I talked about of the Luna Park. This one is Sydney, and these two are like 1930s New York, Coney Island. The Luna Park in Coney Island is still there. I actually got to see it when I went in like 2020. But it looks really different now. This is the OG Luna Park, which is what I was talking about yesterday, which I did not clarify at the time. So I have a couple of photos and I'm gonna maybe put them in my book. And then I have some photos of Jane Birkin and her famous bag because I have been waiting for this bag to go on sale, the Chloe bag, and I kind of like it. I've been waiting like 6 months and saving money for it at the same time, but I've been waiting for it to go on sale. I like the idea of having an everyday bag that is nice enough that it can be dressed up and down, I guess. I have the Bagu Crescent bag, but sometimes I don't feel like it looks nice enough with certain outfits, and that kind of sucks. I'm not really a fancy person by any means, but sometimes when I put the Bagu bag on with an outfit, I'm just like, oh, I wish I had something a bit nicer, but that had the same amount of room in it, because I have a couple of other bags that are nice, but then they're tiny, and you can't even get like an umbrella in them, and that's really frustrating as someone who lives in the UK. So I guess that's my thinking, is that this bag is big enough to fit like an umbrella and a water bottle and like a book, and still be carryable and look cute. And then I guess I'm inspired by the relationship that Jane Birkin had with her bag. So I just kind of, I don't know. It's silly, okay? It's silly, but this is the soft launch. You might see this bag. I don't know. I haven't decided. yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna do some commonplacing, and I'm gonna stop recording because I'm pretty sure the dog and my dad are gonna be noisy again in a second. But that's kind of what's going on today, I guess, is I'm thinking about Coney Island and Luna Park in Sydney, and maybe about this bag. I'm not sure. I don't even normally participate in Black Friday sales. It's only because I've been waiting specifically for this bag for like half a year. I don't know, I always save for big things like that and then I chicken out every time I have to replace my phone or my laptop. It feels like such an emotional ordeal because I'm just like not prepared to spend that kind of money on something. So it's a bit stressful. I don't know. Maybe though, it would be so nice to have something for every day that I like enough to carry every day and that it can, you know, be versatile and stuff, and I don't know, I like the idea of it. So maybe it's worth just jumping for it, I don't know. But I will do some writing about it. That normally helps me clear my mind, and then we'll see.